So you guys really like the idea of me just making a synth sound from scratch and showing you through the whole process. So I decided to do that again, and in this time I want to show you a cool trick that you can do with the tones pack. So here I have a project set up. You can see we have some drums as well as a bass line. This is just from a project that I've been working on. I just took a little bit of it and imported it into a new project. And what I want to do today is I want to check out how to make grid synths. So I'm just going to open up my trusty serum here, and the technique that I want to show you involves the combination tables that you will find within the tones pack. These are the tables that contain all of the different tones all inside here. You can see there's 256 of them, and they're all like one frame at a time. Now obviously these being individual cycles, individual tones, it's not meant to be morphed between, but the cool thing that you can do in order to create your grid synths or really any kind of sequence is to, for example, set this to 1 bar. And then holding shift, you can just drag this however you want. Make sure that they're always flat. And then we'll assign this to the wavetable position. Now let's see what happens if we make a 1 bar sequence and just place down a couple of notes. So this is the MIDI sequence that I came up with, and that results in a sound like this. Now there's a few that I don't really like. One of the cool things that you can do, as you can see, we just have the normal wavetable position and then full modulation here. You can just change this range to anything that you want and you'll get different combination of sounds. And then of course from there you can do whatever kind of sound design that you want. I am going to make it a little bit more plucky with lowering the sustain. I'll give it a little bit of extra release. And then within here we're going to add a hyper as well as a dimension. And then I'll add a multiband compressor to really bring out all of the frequencies. Then finally, in terms of effects, all we really need is an echo, and then we'll remove the lower frequencies, and that is pretty much it. When it comes to grid synths like this, I don't really like adding a lot of delay or reverb on them. These for me are more background elements, so to make them in the background, one of the things that I do like to do is maybe a little bit of extra stereo generation, really get them into the sides, so that whatever main lead that you're going to put on top of this can actually sit more in the center. So now let's duplicate it over and we'll actually stop it here and we'll stop it there like this. To give it a little bit more tone and to give it a little bit more movement, what we can do is apply a filter here. And I'm just going to go with a comb filter, probably something like this. Let's actually go with the one that allows you to remove the lower part of the comb filter like this. Give it a bit more resonance, a bit more drive. And then this is going to go slowly up over time, very, very slowly. Maybe something like that. Now, obviously, it's going to depend on your musical idea, what you're going to do. You can see that here we have a very big build-up. So what I would probably want to do is have a little bit of extra interesting stuff happening in the build-up part itself. So here, what I'm going to do first of all is actually raise the low cut that we have here, like this, so that we're really removing some of the mid-range frequencies as we're going into the build. I'm also going to increase the release here so that we get a more sustained kind of sound. Even though it's changing the release, the kind of length of the sound is going to be bigger. And obviously that's going to change the texture of the sound. But we do have to be careful here because we don't really want it to cross into the next section. We don't want a sound that is playing here to cross into this section because then obviously the waveform is going to change. You can hear currently how that is happening towards the end here. Let's just open this up so that we can really precisely set the release amount. And we'll just set it to like 170 to prevent that from happening. It's still going to give that release elongating effect. So it's becoming longer in terms of the sound length, but it's not going to switch over to the next tone in the modulation. Now, as I said, these tones are included with the tones pack. Obviously, that is the paid tones pack. Within the free tones pack, there's only going to be single cycles. So what I want to show you is how you can achieve the same effect with the free tones pack as well, if you're not planning on buying the whole tones pack. If that is the case, all you have to do is select all of the cycles within the browser somewhere and then just drag them in like this. You can see each file becomes a single cycle as it says, and then you'll have all of the individual cycles, 128 to be exact, and you can use this in the exact same way, only that you're going to have half of the cycles of the other combination tables, which has 256. And obviously with the free version of the tones pack, you only have access to 128 tones instead of the 2048 that are available in the full pack. Either way, I just wanted to make this quick video to show you how easy it is to use the tone pack to create your grid synths. I know a lot of people spend a lot of time sound designing a lot of different synths that they then combine into their grid synths, but there's a much easier way to do it, and that's just sound designing it all in one go and just using different waves at different points of the bar length or 2 bar lengths of whatever length that you want. Now, I don't know exactly when this video is coming out. I usually plan videos very far in advance so that my Patreons can get to see it early. But I do quickly want to say that if you're planning on buying the tones pack, do it before the 24th, because then you can use code SUMMERSALE23 to get 30% off of your purchases. And this is not only valid for the tones pack, but also for all of my other products that are up there. So if you have been thinking about buying something like my masterclass or any other of my products, make sure that you do it before the 24th. But that's going to be it. I hope you enjoyed this video and I hope you enjoyed this technique. If you did, let me know by leaving a like. And if you're new here, make sure that you're subscribed. But that's going to be it for today. I hope you enjoyed and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye bye.